Welcome to the Gyrl Podcast, the show where purpose meets inspiration. Each week, I sit down with incredible individuals who open up about their real life journeys, the wins, the setbacks, and the lessons in between. Whether you're navigating career moves, entrepreneurship, or personal growth, you're in the right place. I'm Kyra Mitchell-Lewis, your host, and I'm so glad you're here. Let's glow up together. All right, happy Thursday, everyone. I hope you're having a fantastic week. Hope everyone's doing well out there. So before we dive into our conversation, a couple of things. Don't forget to check out our Glow Up Girl merch at glowupgirl.com/shop. You can also explore my curated shop on bookshop.org. So it's the Glow Up Girl Bookshop. Also, and if you're a creative or entrepreneur looking to streamline your business, you can visit Studio Wonderwell at hellowonderwell.com. That's my space for helping dreamers like you work smarter, not harder. All right, well, we're going to go ahead and get started today. I'm really excited about my guest that I'll be bringing on here shortly, Amanda Taylor. Amanda is a business and wealth strategist who helps entrepreneurs automate their operations, generate more revenue, and turn that income into lasting wealth. So through her companies, she provides everything from business coaching, sales and marketing automation, and financial strategies to real estate investing tools, giving business owners the systems and capital they need to scale with confidence. And I think we all know as business owners, entrepreneurs, that having all the right systems in place and the things that allow for you to actually do the work that you love is so very, very important. So let's go ahead and bring Amanda into the show. All right, let's welcome Amanda to the show. Welcome, Amanda.
Thank you, Kyra. Excited to be here.
Awesome. Well, why don't we get started by having you tell our audience listening or watching who you are and what you do.
Yeah, I tell people it depends on the day what I do. Amanda Taylor, yes, I actually am I'll call it an ultrapreneur. I am a real estate investor. That's how I started my entrepreneurial journey. Then I decided why not start a business development coaching and consulting company. So I have that as well. And then within the last year, I've started a platform to educate and empower women on the financial aspect of things and really get into investing and just building that confidence and education. So I've got a community, a podcast, a speaking platform, and that really is my passion. So.
Awesome. Well, I love that. And I'm going to actually start our conversation with a question around financial literacy. So, first of all, kudos to you and thank you so much for doing the work because it is a daunting thing for especially a lot of women to invest and to like go into that area. So let's first talk about, why do you think that foundation is so important and the literacy for women, sort of to give us that like true independence, especially when you're entrepreneurs.
Yeah, it's the entrepreneur especially. I am like, no one is coming to save us. And that was something for one, I don't have an employer contributing to my retirement plan. And I'm Gen X. We are the least prepared for retirement than any generation has been. I think the average retirement savings account is less than $140,000. And we just got the information from our boomer parents of like, hey, go get a job, stay there for 30, 40 years, and you'll be fine. They'll just
Mhm.
contribute. And that's just not the way it is anymore. So we have so many more options that we weren't taught. This stuff just isn't taught. And women, especially, we have just been traditionally, globally, systemically kept out of those conversations and out of those rooms that made those rules, that taught those things. And
Mhm.
therefore, we have just deferred those decisions to someone else
Mhm.
and thought because we didn't know enough and we couldn't do it right, especially in the United States. I mean, women couldn't get a credit card or a bank account without a man's permission until 1974. And that wasn't that long ago. So we just have this feeling, this internal thought that that's just not our space.
Mm.
And I think that we are way better at it, that we have these natural gifts to make such better decisions and to really focus on our freedom, our sovereignty, and whatever retirement means to you. That's different for everyone, but
Mhm.
there is a reason, especially as an entrepreneur, you started a business, that you got into this, and it wasn't to work until you're 90. So
Mhm.
let's do something outside of that business to give you the life that you deserve.
Yes. Oh, I love that. Thank you. Because it's so true. But so I want to talk about something because as you mentioned, a lot of times as women, we don't feel like we have the tools or we don't have that knowledge. What, but I feel like it starts with a mindset shift, right? So how can we shift the mindset from, I'm getting income to I'm building wealth?
Absolutely. That's kind of where, I'm this business coach and consultant, and I'm over here and I'm helping you make your business more profitable. But then it's like, what are you doing with that?
Mhm.
And I think it comes down to, for a lot of women, looking forward. Not even, let's look at your business, for example. Less than 13% of small business owners have any kind of exit strategy plan for what they're going to do. So what are we planning at all? What does that look like? And if we can start thinking with the end in mind, then we can start making different decisions. And when you talk about mindset, I read this yesterday. When there's a quiz or a questionnaire about financial questions,
Mhm.
and women and men take it, and I don't know response is removed, women get it right 80% of the time.
Mm.
80% of the time, if they don't get the option to say, I don't know. So it's not a competency issue, it is that confidence issue.
Right.
We have that fear of making the wrong decision, of losing money. And
Mhm.
when you talk about mindset, there is so much shame and trauma and ancestral beliefs and just the way you grew up and what you were taught about money itself.
Right.
It's a holistic process that has nothing to do with, investing in real estate or buying some crypto. It is a deep soul work
Yeah.
to understand yourself
Mm.
around money. So I do really think it's a whole body process.
Mhm. Mhm. I agree. I mean, because I think a lot of times you have people, like you said, a lot of times women are afraid to lose money because there may have been other scenarios where, you may go back to like when you were younger and things that maybe you mismanaged money at a young age. So, right. Yeah, right. Both hands
Yep.
are up here. Okay.
Did that?
But that can actually, but it is something, like you said, it can stick with someone and they can take that experience into the next experience and would even without realizing it, and it's just in the background. It's like a, oh yeah, you can't do that because you remember when you were in college and you had that credit card and then you didn't, or you got the student loan or you did this
Yeah.
thing, and yeah. So
You have to
um
pay those? What?
I know I can still remember like seeing them just being out there on campus at the
Oh, yeah.
bookstore. Like,
You and me both. I was like,
yeah.
I can get a Discover card just walking by the student union. Cool. Let's go shopping.
I have no idea why it was always Discover, especially like you mentioned, I'm Gen X too, and I have no idea why it was Discover, but they were
They
like,
knew, they knew we were easy bait.
they were like passing them out. You want you wait, you don't even have to wait for the card to come in the mail. Here you go. No,
There you go.
start now. Awesome. Um, what would you say are some approachable ways? So someone's listening and they're saying, Amanda, like I hear you. That's me. I want to try. What are some approachable ways for women to just start investing without feeling, very overwhelmed about it?
Yeah. Invest in yourself first. Really I mean, a book, a podcast, a course, learn. I say education and intimidation have an inverse relationship. So if you can spend the time, energy, and money just learning about one financial piece, one facet to make yourself feel more confident, and then start small. I tell people, bottom line, no matter what you do, anybody listening, I don't care who you are, what you do, where you live, what job you have, corporate or entrepreneur, get your money out of a bank savings account that is earning maybe less than 1% interest. It is being eaten away by inflation. And if bare minimum, go put it in a high yield savings account that's going to, right now, I think it's about 4.25%, which is still a little bit less than inflation. But hey, a bank's giving you less than 1%. And that was the genesis of my whole thing. I think I got a Chase Bank savings account statement at the end of the year, and I saw the interest income, and it's like an infomercial. I'm like, there has got to be a better way. This can't be. And that's what started the search. I'm like, this isn't right. There has to be something else that's not as crazy as the stock market and all this volatility. There's got to be something else. And that's when I went out and started researching for myself. So if you can invest in that education first, find someone you trust, to find a book, a course, a podcast, invest in that to feel comfortable, get a high yield savings account. And then there are apps, I think the Robinhood app, the Acorn app, they will take your spare change and start to invest it for you. And those little moves, you'll start to see it work. And that is what will build your confidence to make larger moves. You do not have to have millions of dollars to start to invest. You can invest very small amounts to start to build that confidence. And if you're doing it in ways that compound, then you're going to see results. And that'll just make you understand it and want to do it more and more.
I love that you said you can invest small amounts because I think that is something else that sort of deters people from investing because they think they have to and have large amounts of money to be able to do it. So you hear it from Amanda, everyone. Like
It
small.
doesn't take much. And there's a million things you can invest in: life insurance, whiskey barrels, art, stocks, crypto, precious metals, real estate. I started in real estate. I have bought, I don't know how many, every house I've ever bought, either to flip or hold as a rental. I have never put any money out of my pocket. Okay. There are ways to invest your time and energy. And if you know the right financing strategies, you can make money using other people's money. It's a whole new world if you can just learn the right tools and strategies. And that's the thing. I keep saying that over and over. I sound like a broken record, but pick one to learn about that's interesting to you, that aligns with your values. And that's what I tell people. When you invest in an EFT or a mutual fund, do you go research where your money's going? Probably not. But if you
Right.
care, if you want to have income and impact, there are ways to do that also. And I think as women, especially, we want to know that we're doing good in the world. And if we can use our money to A, make money, and B, make the world a better place through our investments, support other women, support our communities, support sustainability, build shelters, do things that are going to create an impact in the world, then why why wouldn't we?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Now, and thank you so much. I love that you said that. Because I think a lot of times people do just tend to just think immediately of like stocks
Mhm.
as the way to invest in, and I love that you said Y'all, I'm just telling you, when we get to the end and you figure out how, and we tell you how to connect to Amanda, I mean, like, you have to connect because she's a wealth of knowledge and she is holding, she has information that she's going to unlock and give to you. Because I think that's important. A lot of people don't think about, like, when people want to invest, especially when you talk about real estate, most people start saying, like, oh, I don't have money. I don't
Mhm.
have money to invest. I have money to put down, to get this property. So I think like you sort of like helping people to unlock those mysteries
Yeah.
is pretty awesome.
Yeah. And that's what it is. It's a game, and you just got to know how to play the game. And I do think too, there's this connotation with wealth and that rich people are bad, um, and they're greedy and we shouldn't want money and we shouldn't be. But that is my mission on this planet, is to change that paradigm, that we should want money, we should have money, and we should use that money, because
Hmm.
when we spend our money, we are feeding someone's family, we are providing for someone else. And that is, to me, it is an energy. It is a currency that flows. And if we can remove that patriarchal system of hoarding and greed and power of money and create the feminine energy of collaboration and community and all of those things, I just think it becomes a different society altogether.
Mhm. Yeah, I love that. And I think, your approach to it is the way that I feel like most women see it, right? Like you saying the things of like, yeah, I think we all want to leave the world better than the way we found it. We want to make sure it's funny, I was actually on a call with some women last week about investing. And that was one of the questions someone asked about, just making sure that when they make their investments, they want to make sure they're investing in companies that care about like our planet. They care about people. And
Mhm.
and then there was that, advice given to like, this is how you can find out. Go and, look in these places,
Yeah,
or go find stocks, that align to your values. So I think that's really important to call out.
it is.
Um, what role does speaking of a community, what role, and I know you have a community, what role do you think that women having that community, how does that work towards building like lasting financial success? And it's not just like, because sometimes, yeah, when you start something, you're gonna be rich tomorrow. Like you're not gonna be wealthy tomorrow.
Yeah.
And it takes time. So what role does community play in it?
It's accountability, it's support. And for me, this is traditionally a very confusing, probably male dominated, or at least masculine system.
Hmm.
And to create a community of women who are, I lay it out in the most basic terminology there is. I dropped my finance class in college because I didn't understand it. So I want to bring it to people in a way that's easily digestible, that makes
Hmm.
complete sense, and that doesn't overwhelm you and give you that like blank stare, like, I can't do this because it's too
Right.
much.
Hmm.
So it community, as we're doing this together, we're sharing ideas, and what's good for one person may not be good for another. I create a system for you to evaluate what works for you. I don't sell any financial products. I don't care what you do. I want you to be educated on how to judge an investment, or, how much you want to do or what kind of return you want to get. That's what I want you to be able to do. And I want you to be supported in it and have people you can go to that you trust for advice and to bounce things off of, not just to go to chat GPT to don't do that. Or don't go to TikTok for your financial advice. But that's what it's about, is creating space to learn without any kind, there's like no stupid questions kind of thing. We're taking it down to the basics. I'm
Mhm.
talking vocabulary. And that way it's not intimidating. Oh, I get this concept. It goes across all asset classes. Now I can evaluate things a little bit differently.
Mhm.
So that's what we do in there. And then we talk about divorce, we talk about mindset, we talk about death, because all of those things have a relationship to money, how we spend it and how we create it.
Awesome. Yep, that's so true. I know another area you also help people with is systems and automation, and I'm definitely excited to chat with you about your thoughts here and how you help people because that's something that I do and help people with too. And like when you've done it in your own business and you see how it's like, oh my God, like it saved me so much time. Why do you think that it's important, right, to for people to find systems, automations that help, automation that allows them to free their time up to just be able to do the thing that they love. But then also, can you talk about the importance of like why people should do it? And also, I'm sorry, I'm tacking on here. I'm sorry. But
Keep going.
also just the importance of like, you know, if you can't do it, that's okay. Like if you don't feel comfortable doing it, but find a person who can help you do it.
Yes. Exactly. Because, and this is what I tell people, that DIY approach, when you start your own business, for instance, you're usually bootstrapping it. You are giving blood, sweat, tears, time, energy, money to make this thing work. So you feel like you have to do everything yourself. So, the automation and the systems is what's going to alleviate a lot of that repetitive manual work that you're doing. It's going to help with your lead. I'm talking to the choir here. It is a way to duplicate yourself. And wouldn't we all want to
Mhm.
duplicate ourselves doing the tasks that we don't want to do? Because you're
Right.
right, if I'm doing what I love, if I'm truly aligned in my energy, then my clients feel it. I'm engaged, I'm energized, and guess what? That's when I'm making money. But if I'm over here doing the crap that I hate to do, I am drained, I have no energy, it takes me longer, I'm forcing myself, and I'm not making money. So that DIY approach is costing you both time and money. How much is your time worth? When you are working with a client, when you are in your zone of genius and you are creating revenue, how much are you worth per hour? If you're spending that sending emails or filling out the calendar or whatever these tasks are that we could automate, how much are you losing per
Mhm.
hour versus hiring it out, which I can't spend any money. You can't afford not to. That's what I'll say about that.
Yeah, I agree with you. And like you mentioned, and the only reason why I'm glad you talk about the sort of DIY approach to it because I think it's important for people to understand that like that may not be your talent. There are people who have figured it out, people who kind of dug into it. Like, I mean, I just spent some time because I was like, I'm tired of like spending my day like doing all these administrative, like, especially when you have a pot, like, I automated sort of like the whole guest, process. Because I
Mhm.
was like, I'm so tired of like having to go into the form and manually do this and then manually send an email and then manually wait for, all these things. And it was just like, huh, no, I don't have to do that. And
Yep.
that's like at least 10 hours a month that is saved on having to just do a bunch of like manual tasks.
Yep.
So people, yep. I mean, it's like most people like it's a one-time fee. It's a
Exactly.
project. It's a one-time project. You get it set up. They tell you how to
And then
keep.
it runs on autopilot and
Yep.
you get your life back. You buy your time back. And
Yes,
that is precious.
exactly. All right, awesome. Amanda, how can our audience work with you and how can they connect to you?
Yeah, everything is at my website, expandyourempire.org. That's where you'll find our community, podcasts, courses, and that's where you'll find me, expandyourempire.org, because that's what I want every woman to do, is expand her empire.
Awesome. Fantastic. I love it. All right. So we're going to go into three things with Amanda now. I'm going to ask you three questions that just helps our audience get to know you a little bit better. The first one is a two-parter and probably one of my favorite questions to ask. How do you start and end the day?
I start the day in the gym. I'm a weightlifter. This is my if I don't start the day in the gym, nobody's going to be happy. But that is how I center myself. People meditate. That is my meditation for myself. End the day. I do journal. I will say every day I'm addicted to microwave popcorn. I got to end the day with a bowl of microwave popcorn.
Nice. I love that. Awesome. Number two, what's a goal or an intention that you set for yourself this year? And obviously, I know we're later in the year. If you want to give us an update, tell us.
Yeah, I actually last week I just got back from my first international speaking opportunity. I was in Vancouver and Ireland, so I just spoke in two different
Oh,
countries. So for me, that was a goal achieved.
mhm.
I did launch my podcast, and yeah, those are goals achieved. But really, the intention I have, like I said, I'm building an army of women who are ready to change the world with their wealth, and I will fight for that every day. So, who's coming with me?
Awesome. I love it. I love it. Congratulations.
Thank
Um, and the last question is, where are you currently finding inspiration?
In every woman I talk to, really my clients, people that I'm on stages with, I
Mhm.
every time I talk to another woman, we are connecting on a soul level because we have the same mission, whether it's money or something else. Women are coming together and creating, I don't want to say community because I feel like it keeps getting repeated, but I feel like every woman I talk to is on this mission to empower other women. And the more that we're together, the bigger it's going to get. And I think we are really creating some movement. Yeah.
Yes. All right. Well, fantastic. I have really enjoyed the time with you today. Thank you so much for your transparency, for the work that you're doing, because it is really needed. And I'm right there with you. I think like there's a shift happening, especially as it relates to women and investing in wealth. Like that shift is turning, and
Yeah.
more women are stepping into it. Before I let you go, Amanda, what are three things you'd like for our audience to take away from the conversation?
Uh, no one is coming to save you. And I don't say that to scare you. I say that so you'll step up and take action because you are your superhero. It is not lack of competence, but lack of confidence. So let's build that confidence within ourselves so that we can go out and do the things that it's already inside of us. And it's not too late. You know, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, but the next best time is now. And so let's start now. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. I love that. All right. Well, thank you so much again. Everyone, make sure you visit Amanda's site and check out the podcast. All the links will be in the show notes as well.
Thank you. This was fun.
Awesome. Stay tuned, everyone. All right, let's thank Amanda for all those great nuggets today. Make sure you check out the links in the show notes for all that great information. I was still hyped up off of that great information that she just gave us. If you'd like to learn more about Glow Up Girl, you can visit glowupgirl.com and sign up for our newsletter to get insights, tools, and resources for your glow up journey. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are at Glow Up Girl. And wherever you're listening, don't forget to rate, review, and share. Every time you do those things, it helps more women to find the show. And if you're sharing on social, please tag us so we can cheer you on. All right, don't forget, as I mentioned earlier, don't forget to visit our Glow Up Girl bookshop at bookshop.org/shop/glowupgirl, where I've curated empowering reads for entrepreneurs, career glow ups, and wellness. And also, if you are a brand or business looking to partner with a community of women chasing big dreams, we are now accepting sponsorship. So reach out at reach out at hello@glowupgirl.com. All right. Thanks again for spending part of your day with me. I'll see y'all next week. So until then, stay focused, fab, and glow up. Take care, everyone.